Well, folks, it's Christmas Day, and I'm sitting home alone, which is just fine with me. And I thought I'd lay out some cool finds that I found this year and share them with you. We'll start right there. That is the remains of 4 or 5 different pocket watches, including their little cogs and wheels and stuff like that. Kind of cool. Of course, the silverware, you find that everywhere you go. Some pocket knives. My cool buckles that I've found so far. Stupid tags. Like 4 different separate harmonicas and reeds. Dumb old dog tags. And my buttons. I'm going to show you a couple of those buttons up close. Hang on just a second. That's probably my most valuable button right there. That's a very cool find. Found that at the Island Park in Winfield, Kansas. It's a Scoville. It does have the shank on it. Beautiful gilt button. Man, when I found that, I thought it was crap. I think you can see it in my very first video. So if you want, go back and watch me unearth it. This one's a little bit more modern. I believe I had it dated to like World War I. But it does have the shank on it as well. A little different style of shank. And I cannot recall who made that. I had to get my jeweler's loupe out to look at that. But another cool button. This one here I found in a schoolyard. There is no maker. It's probably just off of a coat, a cheap coat, I don't know, but it's metal. And it's kind of a replica of a Napoleonic era coin. But it qualifies for cool stuff. This is an early naval button. Has the fouled anchor. Why they decided to make that the button, I'll never know. Because that's one thing you never want, is a fouled anchor. But it's got a little bit different shank on the back of it. It's probably more modern, I don't know. If somebody else out there knows, then maybe you can clue me in. Alright, that'd be cool. Thanks. Now for some of my cool fobs and tags and such like that. This came off the Santa Fe route. Found that in Garfield, Kansas, right near the railroad. The Santa Fe Railroad, of all things. And this is a baggage tag from that era. It even has the maker. Let me get a close-up of that. Hanson in Chicago is the name of the maker. And they were well known for making fobs and tags and such like that. Cool. This here is a key fob. Went on a keychain apparently. It's the Great Seal of the state of Kansas. And at one time it was plated with 14K gold. Nice little find there. If everything I've found this year, I'd say this would have to be my favorite find. This ranks even above the coins that I've found. This is from the 1904 presidential elections, Roosevelt and Fairbanks. I believe this was made by the same company that made the baggage tag, but their name is not stamped on it, so I have no idea. Found this in the empty lots that I've been searching. If you don't know where that is, check my videos. I've done pretty good with watch fobs so far. This advertises the visible pump, dated to the early 1900s. Tokheim. And anytime you fill up your gas tank, you look at the who made the pump, chances are it's Tokheim. That ranks up there pretty cool. Of course, this is one of my most recent finds. This is Elks Club. They had a big convention in Denver in 1914, and this was, well, it's either a medal or it could be a fob. It could be a watch fob with the two hooks here, and then chains went to that to a strap of leather, and so I'm thinking it might be a watch fob. Pretty nice. And that's in one of my other videos, so check it out. There's an early dog tax tag, 1930. Found this in an old schoolyard, which is now a city park. Nothing on the back. But that's just really cool. I like finding stuff like this. This is from a Bubble Brush car wash. I like tokens like this. I could find stuff like this all day long, wouldn't bother me a bit. There you go, got a good view of it there. Cool. And that's the second car wash token I found. First one's next. This thing is about the size of a dime. Good for one fare. Gordon Transit Lines token. See the G in the center there. And I have searched and searched. There's no sizable town called Gordon with a transit line, and I haven't found a company. So I have no idea the age of this or the location. And I found it in the schoolyard right back behind my house here. That was fairly early, or middle summer. It's pretty cool. I could do a few more of these. Be rocking. Alright. Now here's some of the odd bits of jewelry that I found. And military stuff. Right there. Here's a Girl Scout Brownies pin. Pretty cool. Little St. Christopher's medal. A Major's cluster. Sergeants. The Boy Scouts. That's one of my favorites too, because that goes back a ways. On the back it says 1911. A Weeblo's neckerchief slide. And it's kind of cool little lock. I mean, compare it to a penny. Tiny little lock. This right here is a It goes on the radiator of an old Dodge Brothers car, and still got some of the enameling on it. It was a very cool find, and it was about 7 inches deep. That took a bit of digging there. One of the soldiers I found there at Island Park. I guess you could say I had a soldier spill because there were 2 of them found in the same area. I think this guy's cool. A little old drummer boy here. And the headless cowboy. This is a bomb from an old World War II era toy airplane. It's kind of cool. When I found this, I thought it was a fishing sinker at first. And this is the wheel from an old toy car. Probably an old Hubley or something. Or a Tootsie toy. They used to make Tootsie toys in the large size once upon a long time ago. But that's the toys I found. Well, toys were showing. You can see there, there's bits and pieces of all kinds of stuff. Wish I found the rest of that vehicle. Or the airplane. Oh yeah, much better. She's a beauty. Excellent condition. No mint mark on it. My very first seated Liberty. And that came out of the Island Park. They're in Winfield, Kansas. Again, no mint mark. My very first seated Liberty dime. And I was blessed with 3 barber dimes this year. Yeah, I used to metal detect as a kid. My first detector was a Jetco Mustang. No discrimination. First thing I ever found was 3/4 in the same hole. But I off and on was detecting all the way up into my 20s. And for some reason gave it up. Well, last April I thought, I want to start this up again. So all this stuff has just been since then. So 1911 barber. And a 1907. I believe that's what it says. And my eyes are going. Yep.